So hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the part 5 of this video series, and hopefully today we are going to complete. We will be able to complete this project. So in the last videos, we have built the layout of this app. Then we have built the navigation part. We have also built the models, and also we have parsed the local JSON file to give us the safety tips and all. So all these things were actually quite simple and not that much complex. So right now we need to build the tracker. That is, we want to get the total number of confirmed cases, and also according to the plan of our app, we want to get the total number of cases, we want to get the number of recoveries, and also we want to get the total number of deaths, and also we want to get the recovery rate and also the death rate. So these are some information which we need in our app right now, and we also want to get the latest data over here into this style. So that's a lot of stuff to do, and definitely you guys can also check out the source file of this code into my GitHub repository. So do visit the link, and you guys can also join my Discord server. So I'll give the link below in the description so that you guys can join over there, and we can also discuss some new ideas, app development or web development ideas. So, and also if you guys have some suggestions, or if you guys are having some problems, do write me in the comments, and I'll try to solve them as soon as possible. So now what we need to do, we need to create and in the part 3 we have also created the models related to all advice, then attributes, then all the stuff. And now we need to create another model because we want to get the recovery rates and also the death rate also. So what we need to do, we need to create the models for each of them. So uh, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a new file inside my models folder, and I'm actually going to call it as let's call it as total stats.dart. So inside this total stats.dart file, we are actually going to have the things that we need, that is the total cases, the recoveries, and the deaths. So actually it is very sad that we have to deal with all these situations, and I hope that this virus gets over, and I hope everything returns to normal as soon as possible, and I'm sure it will happen very soon. So and I also hope that you guys are safe, and also you guys need to take care and stay at home. So, and that's it. So let's get started. So first of all, we need to create a class, and let's call it as total count. So it is going to give us the total count of everything. So inside this, first of all, we need to create some parameters like confirm. So we are going to create it for the number of cases, the total number of cases which are confirmed globally, and then final integer. So all these things are going to be numbers. That's why we are going to use integer, because the cases cannot be in decimal or in any other format. So we are going to have stats, and also we are going to have final recovered. So now we have to instantiate it. So total count, and then this confirmed, this dot that's this dot recovered. Okay, so now we have to get the values, or to get the stats. So first of all, I'm going to use getter, that is string. It's going to get the confirmed number of cases, so confirmed text, most probably we can call it that, and inside it, it is going to return confirmed as a string. So we need to use it as a string because we will be using it inside a text widget. And after that we are going to get the let me actually just copy this whole thing up, and then we are going to change the values accordingly. So paste and paste, and yes, so this one is going to be that text, and it should be that, and this one is going to be recovered, so recovered text, and it should be recovered, and yes, that's it. And after that, what we need to do, we need to get the total number of people who are sick, and also we need to get the recovery rate and the fatality rate. So actually, let's not make it more complex. So I'm going to get the recovery rate, so it will be in double because it will be in percentage. So recovery rate, and it is going to return the recovered. So actually we have to do the math right now. So return, so how many people have recovered, so that will be the recovered cases divided by total number of cases, most probably. So recovered, not most probably, of course it will be obvious. So I'm good at math, not that bad. So to double divided by confirmed, so the total number of confirmed cases, and dot to double, of course, and then we're gonna multiply it by 100, then we are going to get the percentage, and yes, that's it. And then same I'm going to do with the death rate. So I'm just going to copy it up and I'm just going to paste it, and this one would be actually death rate, and this one will be that's okay, that's to double. Okay, so here we have it now. So our class is ready, and yes, we also need to convert it to the text, so that we can use it inside the text widget. So you need to convert it to string, not text, of course. So what I'm going to do, string get recovery rate, and text, recovery rate text. Okay, so after that, what we need to do is we need to return, we are going to return, let's concatenate it, and this one will be recovery rate. Okay, that's it. And after that, what we need to do in percent, of course we need to give it in percentage. So we have the recovery rate in percentage, and we also need the death rate, the text for the death rate. So I'm just going to copy it up, and I'm just going to paste it up, and I'm going to death rate text, and it would be death rate. Yes, so we have the death rate, or uh, maybe let's call it a fatality rate. So fatality rate, so I'm going to get here fatality rate. So yeah, so let us save it up. And now what I'm going to do, I need to get access to the API. So here we have a folder called services.dart, and inside it I need to create a new file called api.dart, and here we'll have our API. So inside the API .dart file, what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to import, we need to import our first of all, I'm going to import Dart convert. We're going to be needing it here. Then import Dart async, and also we are going to need to import a package called http, and let us look at the package. So what I'm going to do, to search here http Dart, and here we have the package, I guess. So yes, so we have this package over here. So for now I'll be using this 12.0.12.0 plus 4. So I'm just going to copy it up, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to my pubspec.yml, and yes, check it out. Okay, so I'm just going to paste it under my dependencies. So here, let me just paste it up and save it, and let us going to get the packages, and after that I need to import the http.start out here. So import http package, or maybe http, why it is not coming. So package import package http slash http slash http dart and as http. Okay, so I'm getting this error. Let me check it again. Okay, so all right, so yes, so now we have it. So package http dart. So after that, what we need to do, we need to import class. We need to create a class. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a class, go with service. I'm going to name it like this, and then here actually we are going to have our API. So what I'm going to do, first of all, so here what I'll be needing a private constructor and that instance, and also I'll be needing a base URL for my API. So static base, maybe call it base URL equals it should be, I have the URL, so let me just copy this up and just paste it here. So this is the base URL what I have, and we can actually query this API. So we get a lot of information like number of cases, total number of cases, the recoveries and the casualties. So first of all, we have this base URL, and now we need to get uh, static get string get the total confirmed cases. So total case probably, so total case URL. So and it is going to return string, and that string first of all we are going to need the base URL, and then we are going to need this. So let me just copy it up. So uh, so this one is going to give us the total number of confirmed cases all over the world, and after that we need to get the total number of cases recovered. So static string get recovered maybe, so recovered total recovered cases. So total recovered, okay, URL, and right here also I'm going to get return. First of all, I'm going to use it with the base URL. So base URL. Okay, so I'll just copy this up, and yes, so let me paste it here, and now we have the total number of recoveries. So we can also check it out. So if you guys want to check it out, so let me just show you guys how you guys can check it. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this up, and I'm just going to paste it here, and after that I'm going to copy to see how many people have recovered. I'm just going to copy it here from here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to include it after here, enter, and as you guys can see, these are the number of people who have recovered, and of course it's in the same format, the features, the attributes, and the value. So it's a complex JSON, as I've told you earlier. So the format for our recovered cases and our confirmed cases and and the casualties are actually same, so that's why we can use it with the same models. So as you guys can see, these are the number of people who have recovered, so this is the value, and we need to fetch it here. So for now let's put it aside. So after that we need to get the number of casualties. So static string get total fatality URL. Okay. And it is same, it is going to return it, and it is going to return a, first of all we need a base URL, and then I'm going to get the link. So yes, copy that and let me just paste it here. So we have the number of casualties now, and so all this link basically you can find it on my GitHub repository, that is the source file, and from there you can fetch it or just copy paste it. So after that what we are going to do, we are going to create a feature. We are going to return we are going to create a feature, and this feature will get the total count. So the total count, that is total case, actually not the total case, but we have to import the class over here, that the model. So the model would be the total stats.dart. So we have to import it here because we need to use it. So import double dot, I'm going to use it because it's in the different folders. So double dot slash models slash total stats.dart, and this one would be the total count. So yes, we have the total count here. So total count, and then let's call it as a fetch total, fetch all, or fetch all total. Yeah, and it will be an async await, because we have to wait for the API to get the response. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit a try and catch. So actually not use it now because we have to uh, do a lot of error handling then. So confirmed JSON equals await, and it is going to wait for the fetch uh, JSON fetch uh, JSON. So what is this fetch JSON we are getting from? Actually it is a feature, it is also a feature, but we have not created it. So actually we can create it, but we are going to do it shortly. So what this fetch JSON feature is going to do, it is going to decode the JSON response. So this response which we'll be getting in JSON format, it is going to decode it. So I'm just first of all I'm putting the total case. So we'll get the total case, and it will take the total URL as the parameters, and it is going to decode it. And then I'm going to do the same thing for uh, like for the casualties and also for the recoveries. So this one I'll just copy it here and I'll paste it here, and I'll use copy and I'll paste it here. And yes, this one should be recovered JSON, and this one will be that's. And yes, so now we have this so now let's create this fetch JSON feature. So feature, and this feature will be dynamic. So dynamic, and it is let's call it fetch JSON, and it is going to take an URL as I told earlier. So it is going to take the URL as a string. That's why we are returning it as a string, and definitely it will also be a sync. And yeah, so now we have the final we create a variable called response, and after that final response equals we have to wait for the HTTP ttp.get. We are sending a get request to the URL which is being returned as a string. And yes, so get, we are going to get this, and let's give a slow short timeout. So dot timeout, and let's use the duration widget. So duration, and inside this we can give it in seconds. So seconds 25. So it's going to wait for 25 seconds. If it does not get any response, so on timeout, what we need to do, we'll create a function, and this one would actually throw an error. So throw error. Okay, so yes, wait a minute. So yes, so we need to get an error. So if you get the error, we are going to throw the error. So error. Wait, so we are going to use the error function. So error. So let's throw an error if it does not get the response within 25 seconds. You can make it shorter, you can make it like 10 seconds and all, but let's wait for some time, like 25 seconds, and then if it does not get any response, then it is going to throw an error, and the error would be, as you guys all know, it's a common error like timeout, response timeout. That's it. So yes, so now if it gets the response, well, we want to return it. So return JSON dot decode, and then we are going to return response body. We're going to return the response of the body of the response, which we are going to get from the URL, which is being passed over here as a string. And that's it. So now we can obtain the confirmed. So confirmed total cases, so we can obtain the total cases. So that will be so actually we have to use the response model right now. So it is basically going to be stored in the response. We are actually going to use it according to the response model, because we are going to get a response and it will be stored here. So the total cases of the total cases will be stored as in confirmed, and then we are also going to do this for the number of deaths and also for the number of recoveries. So what I'm going to do, final confirmed. First of all, let us import the model. So uh, import response.dart. So double dot slash models response.dart, and here yes, so final confirmed is equals to total count response. I'll just copy this up, and I'll paste it over here, dot from JSON, and it would be confirmed JSON. So as we have here, we get confirm JSON, and then dot. Now we have the features, we have access to features, then we have access to the list. So features is a list, so we're going to return the first element of that list, that is the attributes, and then we're going to return the value. So here we have now, and this is what we're going to copy. And because, as I've told you earlier, that our casualties and our deaths also, casualties and the recoveries are also in the same format, so it will just be the same. So this one would be like for deaths, and yes, that's, and this one will be for our recovered total number of recovered cases, and yes, recovered. Done. So now we have so now our basic services is ready, so our API is ready. So we need to use it now. So where we are going to use it, we are going to use it over here. So we basically want to throw in the latest data, and also we are going to use it into our tracker. So this we are going to do now. So this video is going to be a bit long, so bear with me. So as I told you earlier, that we are going to create we are going to be getting this data into the tracker screen. So first of all, I'm going back to my tracker screen. So let's go back to the tracker screen. So screens, tracker screen.dart. So for now, as I've written here earlier, it is going to return a container, blank container. So we have nothing over here. So let's actually replace it with a tracker. widget. Okay, so now we need to create this tracker widget. So inside the widgets folder, I'm going to create a tracker uh, widget. Yes, so tracker widget. Yes, tracker widget dot dart. Done. And what is this tracker dot dart for? Okay, so it is that list style. Okay, so tracker widget dot dart. So here what we need access to, first of all, I'm going to import the material package. So package material. Come on, why these snippets are not working properly, man? So import package. Okay, so import package. So let me just copy this up and let me just paste it here. And after that, we are also going to need our API. So double dot slash services, and this one would be the API.dart file. And also we are going to need access to our import double dot slash. We're going to need the models. So uh, models slash models slash total stats. So we need the total stats dot dart. So yes, so now what we are going to do, we are going to create a stateful widget. So we need a stateful widget over here. So yes, first of all, let me just exit this app and let's make this a bit bigger. So yes, right here I'm going to build the stateful widget, and let's call the widget as tracker uh, tracker widget. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an instance of my API or the service. So right after this state, we are going to create another override. So override, and after this we are going to create a service variable. So service equals it should be, since we have imported it, so let's check it out into our services. So it would be COVID service dot dart. So COVID service dot instance. Okay, so we have now the instance, and now we are returning a future. So future, not returning, we are creating a future, and it would be count total count. So we're getting the total count, and let's call it uh, total count future. So after that, we need to create another method for fetching the data, that is uh, fetching our API. Or so what I'm going to do, I'm going to create init state. So override, and it should be void, maybe init state. Okay, so now we have this init state, and now we actually can create a method called fetch data. And what this fetch data is going to do, it is going to call a method in our api.dart file, which will be this method, that is fetch total count. And this should be a private method. So actually, instead of making this private, what I'm going to do, I'm going back to my tracker widget.dart, and I'm going to create a private variable over here. So total count future, which I've already created over here. And right now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set it to service. So what is service? This is the service, so the instance of the class. And service dot I'm going to get the fetch all count method. And yes, so now we have and also I'm going to put it inside the init state, so fetch data. And yes, so we have double override over here. So yes, so now we have access to our API, and now what we need to do, we need to get the data. So we are going to return feature builder. So I'm going to return feature builder. So let me just remove this, and create a new one. So future builder, yes, and the future would be total count future, and then we do not need this initial data, so I'm just going to remove it. And also I'm going to return, first of all I'm going to check if we have the data or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check it out. So let me just remove this extra semicolon. Yes, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to first check, and if there is some data, then we are going to return. Actually what we are going to return are some list styles. So yes, we are going to return some list styles, and let's make it like this, that first, in the first list we are going to return the total number of cases, and in the second list we're going to give the total number of recoveries. And also as subtitles we might add we might add the percentage or the rate of recovery, and same for the casualties. So let's do it. So right here I'm going for if the snapshot dot connection state equals connection state dot waiting. So if we are waiting for the connection, then I'm going to return a circular widget, so circular progress indicator. That's what I'm going to return. So return circular progress indicator, and else. So else, what I'm going to return, I'm going to return our so else I'm going to return our beautiful uh, uh, app, or maybe the data. So we're going to return the data. So uh, else final uh, total count uh, total count equals snapshot dot data. And as you all know, we have access to the snapshot. So snapshot dot data, we're getting the data, and when we get the data we are going to return a list view. So return a list view, not list view builder, because we need just we need just 3 list styles. So that's why we're going to return a list view and not list. So the list view takes children, as we all know. So the first children would be a list style of uh, total count of confirmed the confirmed cases. So the first would be the list style, and as you guys can see, we have text inside this list style as title, and it is the total count dot confirmed. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this up, and I'm going to paste it here, and this one would not be confirmed, but this one would be let's see what we have. So this one would be recovered, and this, let's make give the color as green so that we know that they have recovered. And also now we need to include the subtitle, because we have the title, we need to include the subtitle. So let's add the subtitle. So the subtitle would be let's give the text, and also we can text widget, and let's just, so we have the subtitle. So this the recovery rate, which is the total count dot recovery rate. And yes, so we have this recovery rate, and let me remove it. So we have the recovery rate over here. So let's now save it, and let's check if we have it over here. So I'm going to run my app again. Okay, so we have some errors. So let's check what errors do we have. So we have errors over here, and one more error. So here we have the error, so we have not imported it. So let's import it. So import, I think it should be double dot slash your screens, and it is our tracker screen. So we have it, or maybe it should be tracker widget, not screen widget, and it is inside the widgets folder. So widgets, yes, so widgets, we have tracker widget. Okay, let's save it. And yes, so now we don't have any errors, but a couple of warnings which we'll see later on. So let's save it, Save this one, and let's try running our app. Start without debugging. And also we need another list style for the fatalities. So I'm just going to copy this up, and I'll just paste it here. And this one would be recovered, maybe it should be deaths, and this one should be death rate, death uh, death rate text. Okay, so we have this. Actually it was a fatality rate, so fatality rate, yeah. So let's see what we have here. And yes, we have a lot of warnings over here, and I think our app has been loaded up, so let's check it out. So yes, this progress indicator looks ugly, and I think there we have something, some error. Refresh it. Let's check again. And yes, we have an error called the getter confirmed was called on null. So let's check it out, what is happening. Let us actually restart this app again. So run without debugging, and let's see if it works or not. It's a bit smaller, and put it here. Back to my debug console, and it will take a couple of seconds. Okay, so let's check it out now. Okay, so let's check it out. So this one is working fine, and here, okay, so let's check. Okay, so we have I think we have done, we have forgot to put something over here, so we have not actually returned it anything from it. So this is returning, so this fetch all total count is returning nothing. So let's actually there was a mistake over here, so return uh, total count, and the confirmed should be confirmed, comma, then we have the what else do we have the deaths should be deaths, then the recovered. Okay, so recovered should be recovered. Okay, let's now save it and reload it again, and tracker. I hope so. Here we go. We have this piece of ugly some ugly UI. So let us make it look a bit nice. So let me just remove it. And for what I'm going to do, what we need to do here, first of all, uh, this this title, the total infected and total infected is same. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change it to possibly the fatalities. So total fatalities. So total fatalities. And yes, and then what we need to do is we need to actually, as you guys can see, we have a very long recovery rate, and also a long, of course this will be a fatality rate. And let's save it. And so we can actually limit the decimal place up to 2 places, or maybe 1 places, or maybe 3 places. So yes, let's do that, because it is not looking that much nice, because we have so much of, so let's do it. So first of all, I am going back to the models folder, and inside the models folder I am going to the total stats.dart file. And as you guys can see over here, that we have the recovery rate and also the fatality rate. So what I'm going to do, I am going to use dot to string as fixed So we are going to fix it to, let's say, two decimal places, and I'm going to do the same thing with our fatality rate. So dot to a string fixed. Let's see. Let's reload it again and let's see if it works. Tracker, and also we need to make this circular progress indicator a bit in the center, and probably so it has not worked, so we are going back to our tracker widget. So here we can just, here also I am going to put it as to a string fix back to double two, and the same thing I'm going to do here, dot to as to string as fixed for two digits. So yes, as you guys can see, oh okay, so uh, not do it here, let's remove it from here, and we actually need to do it with our recovery rate, so I'm just going to put it here. And yes, that's it. So as you guys can see, we now have the decimal places has been limited to 2 digits, and then let's make the fatality rate, let's put the color of red to it. So yes, so now we have uh, also for the title, so let's make it a bit red. Okay, so color, yes, colors dot red right here. And so as you guys can see, we now have this tracker, and if we hit here, we actually need to improve the circular indicator a bit. So what I'm going to do, I am going back to the snapshot waiting. So if the connection state is waiting, I'm actually going to wrap it with the center widget. And also yes, so let's save and let's try running it again. So tracker, and as you guys can see, we have this right here in the center. So as you guys can see, we have it here, and also we have this um, uh, the list style. So this will be total recoveries, total recoveries. So now as you guys can see, we have our total recoveries, and actually let's just verify it if the information is actually latest or not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going back to Chrome. So I'm going to open my Chrome, and so till then, as you guys can see, we have our app almost ready. Now we have to include this data over here. So let's look at the statistics, what they're showing. So COVID total cases. So we are just verifying if the information we have here is the latest or not. And definitely we have not used it with this here, so we have some dummy information. And back in our tracker, let's check if we have the correct information. So yes, I think we are lagging behind, so we definitely do not have the latest information, but because maybe this API just gets updated daily, so maybe it will get this the latest data in the next day. So as you guys can see, I'm showing you guys the API, so let me check in the API itself. So as you guys can see, we actually in the API we have this the total value as 396,249. So we have it in our app the same value, but definitely this API is getting updated on a daily basis. So we have to wait to get the latest information, but it definitely will get it by the next day. So yes, so guys, this was it. And in the next video, what we are going to do, we are going to create this live data over here, and we are going to get the latest in we are going to get the latest total number of cases over here, and that's it. So that will be it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and also do like this video and do subscribe to my channel, and we'll be making more fresh I'll be bringing you more fresh episodes of Flutter and exciting projects. So they definitely, and for the code, you guys can check it out going to my GitHub repository, which I'll be giving the link in the description below. And till then, I'll see you guys in the next video.